What's going on, YouTube? Back at it. Week 11? Is it 10 or 11?
10?
One of those. Anyways, but here we are in a very proud moment for me, and unfortunately the worst one of the season for the Allfather.
Let me just start by saying even a blind dog finds a bone now and then. Now and then. It's rare, but it can happen.
It's rare.
So I think we all know what he's alluding to.
It's back.
I went sub 500. I think I was what? What was it?
6 and 7.
6 and 7. Pitiful.
My word.
Absolutely pitiful. So for the time being, I am the dumbass of the week.
I love it.
I will put it on just for a minute, just so everyone can see. And where am I? I am the dumbass of the week.
There it is. God, I'm so glad to see this sight. I've been praying for the day that the Allfather would wear the hat of shame, and I've finally seen it.
Hat of shame.
But all he's going to give us is the brief appearance of the hat. He doesn't want to have it rubbed in too hard. So we'll let him off on that. I'm having a little trouble remembering how I did.
Oh yeah, sure you are. Here's his chance to gloat for once.
9 and 4. It's a decent week.
9 and 4 is excellent.
Not too much to gloat about, but it's a good one.
We're gonna have to do a season.
There will be a season total after week 17 is the final regular season, and we will know who the true champ was.
I think we all know who that's going to be.
I don't know. You keep wearing that hat, you know. I had that awful sub 500 week, and it put me in a hole, and now
you're slowly chipping away at it. Slowly chipping away. Good for you.
So I don't know right now. We're probably close to even.
I don't think so, but maybe.
But we're about to set the course for next week, and I plan on staying on this path. And with that, we'll lead into tonight's awesome matchup that we've all been waiting for all week. The best Thursday night game yet. That is the Bills at Jets.
Rex's return.
Rexy coming home, MetLife. God, it's going to be good. He can downplay it all he wants like he has in the media, but we know this is a big one for him, big one for the Jets. God, it's going to be good.
And a lot of, this will decide a lot in the division, too.
That's right. If they
As a
lose
Patriots
this one,
fan, I love it because someone has to lose.
That's right. Kind of hoping it's the Jets. That'll give us a little extra room in the division. A solid 2-3 game lead.
That would put both, if the Jets win, if the Bills win, it would put both of them at 5 and 4.
With a tiebreaker to the Bills, so they'd take solid, or not solid, but second place.
Well, for the time being, they would have the second place in the division, but it's still not going to matter because I don't think the Bills or the Jets, even if the season goes the way it's going, I think Cincinnati's going to clinch, and my belief right now is Pittsburgh would take the wild card.
I think Pitt will be getting the wild.
So unless, something crazy happens, these guys, it's a lesson in futility. In my opinion, things could change.
But to the game itself, it's going to be tight. This one's real tough to pick. The Jets,
great defense.
Jets definitely have the better D. Bills have a good D. Jets are a little better. However, it's a pretty similar personnel lineup to Rex's D. Cromartie, Revis. It's he knows these guys, but the scheme has changed. So I don't know if you give Rex the advantage there. He knows tendencies. He knows a lot about them, but it's a new scheme. Still, I still think
there's more playmakers on the Jets.
Yeah, there definitely are. And as tight as it's going to be, Jets are at home, and I think if they play their game, they play to their potential, Jets should win this one. And I'm going to take the Jets.
I think if anyone can go into New Jersey and beat the Jets, it's Rex. If for no other reason, he knows the personnel. He knows. It's like if Belichick went to play the Patriots today.
Yeah.
You know.
He'd know how to exploit.
Yeah, he would know what to attack, what to stay away from. So I'm going to take the Bills in a long shot going into New York and taking this one. It'll be close, but I like unless Fitzpatrick or whoever's quarterback for the Bills doesn't make a bunch of mistakes. The Bills, I like the Bills.
I think that I forgot to mention Jets are starting Fitzpatrick.
Bills.
Jets have Fitzpatrick.
That's right. Now,
Bills used to.
Is Tyrod playing?
I assume. I think he's still starting.
I personally think Fitzpatrick is better than Tyrod.
He is, however, he's still dealing with something wrong with his finger, not in his throwing hand.
Right,
but
his non-throwing hand got jacked up 2 games ago, I remember.
He's still a one-handed QB, as they're saying, and he's supposedly after tonight he's going for surgery and expects to be back in time for next week. But we'll see how that goes. And that's the one shaky thing about my pick is Fitzpatrick's still hurt, so that helps the Bills. I'm still going to take the Jets.
I'll take the Bills. We'll see how it goes.
So we're moving on to Lions at Packers. All right, Pack.
Detroit hasn't won in Green Bay since I was 12.
I don't think they'll do it on Sunday either.
No
the
way.
Pack have dropped 2 straight, though, but both to undefeated teams. Pack aren't quite what everyone made them out to be. I thought they were a lot better than both Carolina and Broncos, but it turns out it's not the case. But still, they're definitely good enough to take the Lions down at home.
I would
Taking
certainly
the
hope
Pack.
so. My God, if they lose to Detroit, it's pack it in. Pack it in, Packers. You're all done.
Indeed. So that's 2 for the Pack.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Packers.
So 2 for the Pack. Moving on.
And now to the all-penal team.
Cowboys at Bucks. Don't like to beat a dead horse, but if
They like
there's
to beat women.
That's right. If there's a guy we shouldn't stop bitching about, it's the scumbag Hardy.
And the scumbag Jerry Jones. Who's allowing this animal to play in the league.
Jerry's more at fault here, I'm more pissed at Jerry. Obviously Hardy's at fault for beating a woman, but Jerry has made this thing and throw so much mud and dirt on the Cowboy name. That star has never been more tarnished, and in his desperation for even a playoff berth, Jerry is just thrown morals, self-respect, and pride right out the window.
I have lost all respect for that organization after this. This is just, it's unbelievable. The more you read, the more you get to learn some background in this thing. Thank God for Deadspin. Coming out with these things, some of these things that we never would have known. With all those facts, all that information there, how this guy, I'd like to know why his suspension got knocked from 10 to 4. What was the evidence in this case that made it look like 10 was excessive? The guy should be out of the league.
Yeah,
Never
no
mind.
mistake. The NFL saw the pictures.
Of course they did.
That's clear as day. They did see the pictures.
They knew all this before any of us did.
It's just sickening.
If I see one more, no more commercials by the NFL about domestic abuse, why don't you just write on a scroll underneath, we're just saying this for the sake of saying it. We don't really believe it. We don't want to do a damn thing about it. But we're going to do this, to try to make it look like we give a rat's ass, and they don't.
It's like we were saying earlier today, it's like Hitler giving little I don't know, slip into the newspaper, slip into the TVs, leave the Jews alone.
Be nice to the Jews.
The Jews are great people, be nice to them.
While we're gassing them behind the scenes.
Obviously, the Holocaust's a lot worse than what's going on in Dallas, but it's just the comparison. It's the hypocrisy.
Absolutely, that's just it. It's like, how can you say one thing or supposedly be so anti-something, and then you have it. Here you have a perfect case. After the Ray Rice incident, you would think they wouldn't want to go through that again. Or certainly Goodell wouldn't want to go through that again.
He
came this close to losing his job, and the killer of all killers is he didn't even appear at the appeal hearing to get their suspension reduced for Hardy. He didn't miss 1 second of the fucking Deflategate nonsense. He was there every time, integrity of the league. If he says that one more time, he should just puke. It's disgusting. The guy cared more about taking the Patriots down than he does about this animal that never mind shouldn't be playing, should be in prison.
I swear he just won't cross Jerry Jones. The country can cry about Buddy, Kraft, and Goodell.
Really?
That was clearly not the case. Their buddiness never helped us in the courts or in the friggin' Deflategate bullshit, but Goodell won't even appear to go against Jones.
If Goodell allows Hardy to play the rest of the season, he's just a puppet. I know he works for the owners anyway, but this just makes him look like a complete and utter fool. It's sickening. A multi-billion-dollar business has this guy as your figurehead. Unbelievable.
Well, anyways.
Thank God America loves football, because no one's going to boycott it. I always hear people say, "Well, you want to get them back? Boycott, boycott." Right. It's the best sport in the world. No one's going to boycott it.
That's how they get away with this shit.
Right.
No one's ever going to stop
If somebody wanted to take a stand, it would have to be one of their major sponsors that pays them all that money, like Budweiser, or, you've seen the commercials, FanDuel, or any of those. Once they say, look, I'm not going to give you this advertising money while this animal's in the league, then maybe something will happen. But even that's not going to happen. It's just the biggest hypocrisy ever.
Even the sponsors don't seem to give a shit. American Airlines sponsors the Cowboys, and they gave us this bullshit little statement saying, "Oh, we don't sponsor individual players, we sponsor the team. We don't condone domestic violence, aka we don't give a shit."
As long as it helps us sell airline tickets, we don't give a shit. Just like Jerry Jones. As long as we keep selling out AT&T Stadium and people keep buying the jerseys, who cares?
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Too much money going around, so shit will never change.
He'd be cut from any other team.
It's just shameful. The poor Cowboys, they're ruined. America's team no longer, that's for sure.
It's the all-penal team.
But back to this specific game against the Bucs. It could be good, I guess, if the Bucs are firing on all cylinders. We have seen spurts of capability out of them and Jameis Winston. But
he's played a lot better than I thought he would.
He certainly has, but I don't know. I think the Cowboys will take this one, which I hate to say. They've been enjoying the hell out of their losing streak ever since Hardy joined. But I'm going to think that this is the week they finally get that elusive win. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, me too. Dez has played in a game now. He's in better shape, probably. I don't see Dallas losing to the Bucs as much as I'd love to see it. I'd like to see Dallas lose every single game that Greg Hardy is involved in, because they haven't won a game with him yet. I'd love to see that trend continue. I just don't think it's going to.
That's right.
So put me down for the cow jerks.
That's 2 for the cow dicks. Moving on to Panthers at Titans. God, Panthers are rolling. Took down the Pack.
taken down everybody they've played.
Taking down banners too. Cam Newton, such a little bitch. It's
Yeah,
so lame.
That's just
Oh,
wrong.
it's disrespectful. It's
Don't
a
get
fucking
involved.
fan.
Don't get involved with the fans. Just do your job. Be a professional.
Oh shit!
This isn't a high school game.
Oh, I could go into that subject, but
See, I just can't stand immaturity. I hate
Yeah.
it. I don't care who it is. You know, to rip down someone's sign that they made, it's probably a little kid, and
it
he
was
goes
a
and
family.
yeah,
the whole family.
that's just bush league. He should have smiled and said, "We're gonna beat you," instead of being a dick.
Such
so-
childishness, you know.
That's
This is
bad.
what happens though when a mediocre team finally starts rolling, gets some confidence. They think they're God's gift and do what they want. But anyways, Panthers, Titans just upset the who was it? Saints. Titans just beat,
Wasn't I think so.
and they can put up some points, the Titans, but not against this Carolina defense. I don't think they can get much moving. At least not as much as the Carolina
As they would
offense
need,
Cam Newton's gonna do. So look for the Panthers to go 9-0. I'm taking them.
Yeah, I like Carolina in this game as much as I'd like to see them lose.
So that's 2 for Carolina. Moving on to Bears at Rams.
Bears beat San Diego.
Yeah, San Diego just fell to the Bears.
San Diego finds ways to lose games.
They do. They have a shit record now, 2-6, I think it is. Which I hadn't been paying attention to them. I didn't think they were doing that bad. It's because they lose squeakers. They just find a way to lose.
They
like
play
you
well
said.
until the end, and then they find a way to puke on themselves.
But even with the Bears beating them, Rams are a much better team than either San Diego or the Bears, and it is in St. Louis. I think Rams win in a pretty easy one.
I don't know how easy it'll be, but I like the Rams at home.
2 for the Rams. Moving on to Saints at Redskins. Saints coming off that loss to the Titans. Skins coming
After
off.
that win against the Giants,
Yeah.
I mean,
They're up and
it's
down, roller
like Jesus,
coaster.
yeah, high and low lows with these guys.
Yeah, big time.
Just goes to show the parity in the NFL. It's like any given Sunday, anybody can beat anybody.
That's true. That's why I talk of an undefeated season for the Pats. I try not to listen, because even if the schedule's light, you never know.
Oh
in this
God,
league.
you know how hard it is to go undefeated. That's why no one really has ever done it.
But yeah, Saints playing the Skins in Washington. Skins coming off a beatdown by the Pats.
Which
Well,
wouldn't have been so bad if Deshaun Jackson and the other guys held on to the damn ball.
yeah, so many drops.
I mean, Kirk
going.
Cousins threw some good balls, and these guys just like they were in. You know what happens is the Patriots have ways of psyching these people out. Like they have to play a perfect game to beat the Patriots, and it's in their head.
Yeah.
So the simple fundamentals of catching the football becomes difficult. You know, it's weird. It's like we're in everyone's head.
But I think the Saints go into Washington and take a win here. The Saints are definitely better than the Skins.
Saints are so unpredictable, though.
Yeah.
But then again, the Redskins aren't.
But even when the Saints lose, they put up a shitload of points.
Yeah.
It's their D
Yeah.
that's really
And
holding
then
them
Drew
back.
Brees will cough it up on occasion, but I think I like the Saints in this one too.
So that's 2 for the
If I have to
Saints.
choose between Drew Brees and Kirk Cousins, you know I'm going to go with Drew Brees.
Well, moving on to Dolphins at Eagles. Dolphins have
That
been
little run for the Dolphins seemed to have taken a detour here.
After New England put them in their place, they have been sliding once again. All that hype and excitement with Campbell taking over has
This is
worn
what happens
off.
when you have a tight end coach become head coach overnight.
But it's a shame because the Dolphins showed what they were capable of. They
Against
played.
a couple of shitty teams.
They were
though.
shitty, but they put up 40 burgers. They went off.
Yep.
And if you can do that even against a shitty team, you should be able to compete.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Which
they'll
they-
compete.
they haven't been. And now playing the Eagles, I think these are pretty similar level teams here. They're pretty
Much better offense than Philly.
Yeah, Philly's got the O. If the Dolphins could get their D rolling, which they haven't yet, they should be good. But it is in Philly. Dolphins have been slipping. I'm going to give it to the Eagles in a close one.
It would be, in my opinion, it would be a massive upset if Miami went into Philly and won.
Huh.
I mean, Philly's been playing pretty decent. I like Philly at home in this one.
So that's
Definitely.
2 for the Eagles. Moving on to Browns at Steelers. It's a division game anyways.
Backup QB for Pittsburgh, though.
That's right. Ben cannot stay healthy.
And
What is it?
they
Age
gave
or
up
what?
on Vic, so it's Landry.
That's for the best, though. I'd say that's the safe move. But Browns,
What a shame. Michael Vick had so much potential.
after the fucking dog shit and going to jail, he was never the same. Which is fine. It's still a little bit of justice, I guess.
I mean, I don't feel bad for him personally. I don't care. But it's just a shame because he had the world by the balls when he came out of college and had those great couple of years.
But
Great
Steelers,
fantasy quarterback.
he was, yeah. I remember the stats he could put up with his
Crazy.
rush TDs.
Reminds me of Cam Newton now.
Yeah, the young Vic is Cam. Cam's just big. But Le'Veon Bell went down, and we thought that'd be a tremendous blow to the Steelers. But D'Angelo Williams, he's
great.
better. He's literally better.
He would start on any other team.
Yeah, he should start on any team. I don't know why, when Le'Veon was healthy, they kept D'Angelo benched. It makes no sense. Use both of them. They're both phenomenal.
Yep.
D'Angelo, coming into his first start since Le'Veon went down, tore it up. It was insane. And now he's looking to be the best fantasy back in fantasy. I think he alone, with no Big Ben, will be enough to take down the Browns. Give me the Steelers.
Yep. I don't care who's playing quarterback for the Browns. I think Pittsburgh at home is going to be tough. So I'll take Pittsburgh.
Moving on to Jags at Ravens. Here's a pretty good matchup because they both kind of suck. Who would have thought that when you're talking about Jags at Ravens, you'd think it's going to be a close, good game. Ravens have really fallen. I love it. It's just so
That is going to
cool.
be the most frustrating season for Baltimore. They lose every game by like 1. They're in every game. They don't get blown out.
I just thank God they're not going to be sneaking into the playoffs like last year.
Oh God, do I fear them in the playoffs.
They sucked last year, but picked it up just enough, just in time to squeak into the playoffs, and came this close.
Nearly beat us. They should have.
They led by 14 twice. How could they not win that one? Thank God they didn't. Tom got the 4th ring. It's all history now. But the Ravens of now, they're playing at home against the Jags. For the first time this season, I think, I'm going to go with the Ravens and think they can get a win against the Jags at home.
I know I've been picking the Ravens all along, because I keep saying, I can remember saying, I can't see them losing again.
5 times.
And again, I like the Ravens in this one.
So, that's 2 for the Ravens this time.
Why, I wear the dunce hat this week.
Moving on to Vikings at Raiders. Both of these teams have really picked it up this year.
I'm shocked at Minnesota.
You know,
Shocking.
Minnesota is tied with Green Bay for the division.
That's right, that division
How
is up
the
for
hell?
grabs. Who would have thought of that?
Nobody. This is insane. I can't believe
Packers
this is
fans
happening.
must be like thinking this is a bad dream.
They go from potentially a perfect season to now
Super
tied
Bowl,
with
you know,
the
they were a Super Bowl shoe-in, and now it's like, let's just hope we can win the division.
That sucks for them, but
And the thing about Minnesota is they don't get much publicity, so Minnesota is just quietly
they are. Yeah.
dominating that division.
And even though the Raiders have certainly picked it up, they just beat the Jets, was it?
Yep.
That was a big win.
Yeah, but then they lost, didn't they? Who'd they play after the Jets?
Who did they play?
That doesn't matter, but I think they lost.
Anyways, I think it's going to be a pretty good game. Raiders are at home, so that's going to give them the edge they need against the Vikes. But as close as it's going to be, I'm going to stick with these Vikings.
No, I was going to
these
say, let's not get too crazy. I don't care where they play this game. I think the Vikings, if they continue doing what they're doing, they should win.
So I'm going to assume they're going to keep it up and take the Vikes.
I'm taking the Vikings, too.
2 for the Vikings. Moving on to Patriots at Giants. This one, we all know why. This one's a little scary.
Yeah, but it shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. They're 5-4, and
it's not the same teams that beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl.
That's what I like to tell myself.
It's not.
It's the 8-0 Pats against the 5-4
Tyree's
Giants.
gone and Manningham. There won't be any more miraculous. Well, then again, they got Odell Beckham, but they don't have the defense that they had back then.
No, they don't. They have the worst D in the league.
Right, they're ranked 32nd in overall defense.
Yep. So if that's the case,
Drew Brees put up 52?
7 touchdowns. Fucking nuts.
I think Tom could do that.
Yeah,
too.
that's why I'm excited to see what Tom can do against this shit D. But then again, every time we have a good matchup, like, oh, the Pats are going to put up 50, this is going to be a shit kicking.
It never happens.
It's always about a 20-something point win.
Yep.
Like, they love to just fuck with us and prove
just
us
wants
wrong.
to win. He doesn't care about by how much. He just wants to win.
But the thing is, Eli and Odell alone, they will put up some points on the Pats.
They'll put up at 20s, I think.
Yeah, they'll
but
be
the
in
Pats
the 20s.
will put up 35.
That's the hope. Obviously I'm going to pick the Pats. Pats should win this one.
Absolutely.
With ease. But
they should.
But they should have won the last 3 that the Giants snuck. Oh, God, I don't even want to think about it.
Tom Coughlin's the only coach that has a winning record over Bill Belichick.
That's right. That's why it'll always be a little scary.
Same thing with Eli. Eli is the only player that has a better record against the Patriots than anyone else.
But going with the Pats.
Definitely.
Gotta go with them.
You gotta go with the Pats, and it's not the same team. The Patriots should win this game by 14 or more.
At least. Let's hope they get it done. That's 2 for the Pats. Moving on to Chiefs at Broncos. The Chiefs, they suck this season.
Once defeated now Denver Broncos.
That's pretty cool. They were, now Cincy's the big threat for home field in the playoffs. But one loss isn't going to kill the Broncos. It's just going to hurt them a little.
Well, it's still early enough, a lot can happen. So.
But they're at home against the really shitty Chiefs. It's an easy Broncos win.
Too. I thought the Chiefs would be better.
They were decent last year.
I like the Broncos at home, definitely.
It's 2 for the Broncos.
The next game's the real good NFC matchup.
Oh yeah, here we go. Cardinals at Seahawks.
Got some history here.
This is going to be an awesome game. This is always an awesome game when these two go at it.
Seems like the Cardinals saved their best to play them.
Yep. And Cardinals are one of those, one of the teams that can come into Seattle and usually not be too affected by that.
They've won in Seattle before.
During that real, was it last year, a year before, the Seahawks just looked absolutely unbeatable.
And then the Cardinals went in.
Then the Cards took them down.
I remember.
And I think they do it again, to be honest. I think they come into Seattle on Sunday and take a win over an improving but shaky Seahawks. I'm going to go with the Cards.
All right. Well, here's the difference between us and this one. The Seahawks have been playing great lately. Defense seems to finally be back to their Super Bowl form. Give me the Seahawks at home in a close one.
Split decision finally.
Well, no, we did
Bills and
Jets.
that's the
That's
only
it.
one.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Bills and Jets and Cardinals at Seahawks.
And now, last game of the week, moving on to Texans at Bengals. I don't see us splitting on this
No.
one. I think it's a pretty safe bet. Bengals at home, they're gonna roll.
They're unbelievable. I can't get over it. I remember the very first video we did. I was making fun of them.
Yeah.
You're not gonna win with a ginger
Ginger's
quarterback.
gonna go down. He
Boy, what do
falls
I know?
off.
Bengals, big. Houston, what a disappointment.
Yeah, big
What a
time.
disappointment. If I owned that team, I'd be firing everybody at the end of the year.
They're wasting so many good players.
It's
I
a
mean,
shame. It's
Give
like,
me
give
Watt.
J.J.
Give me
Watt.
Clowney.
Yeah, we'll take those guys and they'll go to the Super Bowl.
Hopefully they don't pull. They don't. Who is it? Megatron, Calvin Johnson. Get that poor bastard out of Detroit.
he's
Give
not
him a
even-
chance.
He's way past his prime now. I'd still like to see
You know,
him
that's
come.
that's exactly what they said about Moss, though,
I know,
when he
that's-
came to New
I was
England.
just going to mention that he got revitalized, which could happen. But you're going to take on all that money? Belichick won't do it.
Yeah.
Belichick would make him restructure before that deal would be
Definitely.
made. And I don't know if Calvin's the kind of guy that would want to do it.
Who knows? We can dream, though. That would be cool.
So looking forward to tonight's game. That's going to be a good one.
That's right. We finally got this done in time to sit back and enjoy the Thursday game.
I really it's great for us because it's an AFC East division rival. So whoever loses is great for us. But again, we want the Bills to win this one because then they'll both be 5-4, and the Pats have a 4-game lead. And we have beaten the Bills, and we have beaten the Jets. So tiebreakers. It makes a difference at the end of the year if things are tight.
Yeah, not that I think it's very much in question, but I think if the Bills win tonight, that guarantees Pats win the division, because I don't see us losing 4.
Yeah, they were talking about that today, saying that if the Bills won and things continued somewhat the same, the Pats could clinch the division by the end of November.
that's
Imagine that.
ridiculous.
Yeah, no kidding.
That's awesome. But that's it for the week, YouTube. Real pleasure, as always.
I'm never wearing that hat again.
The All-Father wore the hat. I'm so proud.
Sick.
You don't know how happy I was when I finished grading.
The whole Greg Hardy thing's had me off my
That's
game.
right.
The
When-
Roger Goodell fiasco, that guy, oh God.
When I was tallying up his false picks and it hit sub 500, my face just lit up.
His face lit up so much his beard fell off.
Oh yeah, I don't know
His
if you
beard
noticed.
fell off, he was so excited.
I can't believe I forgot to mention how friggin' stupid I look. I can see the filming of the camera right here. You can't really see it on film, but I look so fucking stupid without a beard.
He looks like a 12-year-old boy again.
I'm never shaving again.
A little Guido mustache.
But that's it, YouTube. See you later. Enjoy the games.
Adios.
Root for my victories.